Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, so last two sessions we have seen what is our curriculum. So let us start with a few basic technical things today. So the course is SQL Database Administration, SQL DBA. Okay, our course name is MS SQL Server DBA, MS SQL DBA, or SQL Server DBA, SQL Server Database Administration, Microsoft SQL Database Administration. Okay, our course is database administration, and so as we have many database products, so particularly we are learning about SQL Server Database Administration. The SQL Server is from Microsoft. Okay, so as we are saying, the database administration, data administration or database administration. So you need to understand what is this data, right? And what is the data? What is the importance of data? How this data, what kind of role this data plays in any the business, right? So let us try to understand what is data. Can somebody tell me what is data? Not with respect to data administration or anything. This is general terminology. What is data?
Collection of records.
Collection of records. I want all of you to be unmute. So whoever want to talk, unmute and tell answer. Otherwise, you can post your answer in the chat as well. Okay. Yeah.
Data is nothing
Yeah.
but collection of valid information.
Collection of
Valid information.
valid information. Right. Anybody else? So we got one definition. Data is nothing but collection of valid information. Okay. Anything else? Ashok Yadav, go on mute.
Yes, a collection of records is called a data.
Okay. Now you can go on mute. Okay. Collection of records. PK records or Megastar records? Okay. Was a lot of money. Is this money? It's a lot of background noise. Right. Anybody else? What is data? In your terminology, in your day-to-day life, where do you use this word data, and what is your understanding about data? I don't need any definition. I don't need any exact definition. What is your understanding about data? What does that mean, a data? That is my point.
Collection of elements.
Collection of elements. Okay. Just throw your answers, whatever, right? Collection of elements. Okay.
The valuable information.
Valid information.
It could be in any format, like it could be picture, videos, data, in the form of words.
That is a collection, right? Collection
Yes,
of information. Okay. That already we have written. Yes. Okay. Around 25 people. Okay. Speak up. Speak up, guys. Collection of valid information, collection of records, collection of elements. Somebody pinged in the chat. Collective and valid information. Okay. The same thing we have written. Okay. So when you are posting a message, so there will be everyone option. Don't send only to me. So send it to everyone. Okay.
Sir, facts and statistics collecting the for the analysis.
Okay. Facts and
Statistics
statistics
collected for the reference.
collected for the reference. Is that what you're telling?
Yes, sir.
Very complicated definition. Okay. Anybody else? Hmm? Right? Collection of related information. Let us go on internet, ask Google, right? What is data? Right? Data are nothing but units of information or collection of information, right? Often numeric that are collected through observation. It is more technical space. Data are set of values of quantitative blah 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 blah. Okay, data is nothing but collection of information. Data is nothing but units of information. Data is nothing but related information, collection of related information, right? So data is nothing but, okay. So in every definition, like most of the definitions we are saying, collection of records, let me remove this, collection of elements, let me remove this, okay, collected facts, okay. Basically, whatever the facts and statistics that you are telling, those are information, right? So we are talking data is nothing but collection of related information, collection of related information, right? Got it? So what does that mean in information? What does that mean? Information, right? But telling data is nothing but collection of information, then what does that mean, information? What does that mean, information?
Would be some idea, facts.
Huh? See, if you talk about one single object, then we call it as information. Who just know somebody said facts? Who's that?
Surya.
Surya. So when I talk about Surya's name, Surya's phone number, Surya's mobile number, sorry, Surya's mail ID, Surya's address. Okay. All this is what do we call that as a Surya's data? This is Surya's information, right?
Yes, information of group of data.
Okay.
Information is nothing but group of data.
Very good. Okay. Who is that?
Vamsi Krishna.
Yeah, please listen. Okay. I'm talking data is nothing but collection of information. You are telling information is nothing but group of data. Okay, listen. Okay. Information is when you talk about particular object, right? So that we call it as a information. So Vamsi Krishna. Vamsi Krishna have the name, Vamsi Krishna have the ID, Vamsi Krishna have the phone number, Vamsi Krishna have the mail ID, and Vamsi Krishna have some permanent address, father name, mother name, blah, blah, blah. That is the information about Vamsi Krishna. Right? If I put multiple persons' information together at one place, we call it as a data. Right? So I have 24 people in this group. If I collect all your information in one Excel spreadsheet, so then I say this is data of April 21 batch. Right? Mr. Tarwa Chepta, go on mute. Mr. Naveen. Okay. the information is okay, information is, so if you want to talk about a particular object facts, right? Then we call it as a so if we collect such a related information at one place, then we call that as a data, right? If you collect information of multiple people, when I say object, it can be a person or it can be anything, right? Vehicles information, right? And anything. So we have discussed about information and we have discussed about data. Can you throw me some examples of data? Can you show me some of the examples of data? Examples of data.
Banking system.
Banking systems. Customers information. Banking system is not a data, right?
A sales re-
It's not a data. Customers info in a bank is data. Okay. That is data. Customers info or employees info in a bank, that is data. Banking system is not a data, right?
Product names, addresses, tags
Of what?
of that product of that company, different products.
Okay.
Yeah, and addresses of that employee.
1 second. I'm just putting this bullet. What is this? Second one?
Employee information.
Yeah, that is the right way, right? Not addresses of the day employees. Employee information in any organization, right? What else?
Students information in schools.
Student information in SQL school. Students information in a school or college. Right?
a sales report of the company.
What is that? Sales
A
report.
sales report of the X company.
Okay. Anything else? We have covered organization. Anything else? We have covered school, college. Then we have covered bank. Anything else? Just think about the day-to-day life, right?
Sir, email is an example of data.
What is that?
Email.
Okay. Your email ID is a data. Okay. Can't we call this as a data? Patient's information in hospital, right? Or doctor's information in hospital, right? Anything like vehicles information at a dealer site. So when there is a dealership, right? Two-wheelers or four-wheelers. So they will have all the vehicle information. What are the new vehicles are coming? What is the stock available, right? And if you go to a supermarket, all their groceries information, right? So if you go to Metro or DMart or any other supermarket, so they can see what stock is available in the system, right? So these are some of the examples of data, right? Some of the examples of data in your real life, everywhere in every business, data is associated with, right? Everywhere data is associated with, right? It can be a small grocery shop or it can be a big organization, right? Or big hospital or any reputed school, right? So if they don't maintain the data properly, say for example, one simple example, take an example of school. The school have thousands of students, right, across different grades and different sections, right, and also the school has the transport facility also, right? They pick up the students from home, and at the evening they drop students at their home. So if they don't maintain all these students data properly, right, what will happen? They may not be able to track which student belongs to which area, and which bus have to pick up that student, and which bus have to drop that student. So if you see at schools, for every bus, there will be a number and route number, right? So whether it will go to Vivekananda Nagar, or it goes to Miapur, or any other area, and they should have a list of the people, list of the students who belongs to that route, right? If they don't maintain data properly, if they don't have a segregation of the students route wise, it will be very difficult for them to arrange pickup and drop facility. For a simple school of 1,000 people, if they don't have the proper management of data, they'll get into severe problems, right? So consider if you have an organization like Infosys, right? Infosys, Accenture, IBM, Cognizant, they have a lakhs of employees across the globe, right? You take Cognizant, over 3 lakhs in India. If you take Infosys, they have around 2 lakhs. Even Accenture also close to 3 lakhs, right? So how do they maintain all the employees' information? For whom, who belongs to which department, and what is the salary range, right? What is his role, whether he is a developer or senior developer, who is his manager? So if they don't maintain all the data in an organized way, it will be very difficult for them to maintain an organization, right? In every place, data plays a key role, right? In every business, if your data is not properly organized, or data is not properly secured, okay, data is not properly maintained, and it will have a huge impact to the business. Okay, you take an example of bank is maintaining all the customers information. So you'll have a customer account number, name, mail ID, phone number, credit card information, CVV information, date of birth, password, everything will be there in the bank record, right? Whatever the password you are setting up, that will be stored in bank database, right? So bank, whoever is working in the back end, they will have options to see your password, right? So they can see, because like they are the technical support people, they'll have access. But if you get your data, if your data is get exposed to outside public, right? If your account ID or user ID and password is exposed to outside world, right? Nowadays, so many hackings happening, right? So once your ID and password is given to somebody, within few seconds your account will be empty. So in such cases, you need to secure your SQL server tightly, so that no such incidents can happen on your data. Like, that is the role of database administrator. You will be working on the live customers data. You will be supporting the environment where your customers live data is sitting. If you are supporting, if you are working for ICICI Bank as a database administrator, maybe you are working in IBM or TCS or CTS, but your end customer is ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank is a customer of IBM. You are an employee of IBM. IBM is allotted you a ICICI project. So you'll be working for ICICI Bank from IBM office, right? So it is your responsibility to safeguard or secure, right, the bank's data, customers' data in that bank, right? So whoever is running bank, they will not have all the required skill set to secure or to maintain these databases. They will be business people right? We will be as a database administrator or a system administrator or Linux administrator, right? We will be working as a technical teams in the back end to support their business as usual operations. Got it? So considering that your role is very critical because uh, it is not like a, developer who get assignment to complete one module and they'll get about 2 to 3 weeks of time by that particular given targets. They need to complete the piece of code required for that module, right? So maybe they can work, they can enjoy first week and they can enjoy second week also. Few people enjoy 3 days of third week also, right? In the last 2 days, okay, they'll put a lot of pressure on the family and we have a target, we have a delivery, we have go live, I need to complete this code, that code. That is the developer life in any organization. Because they're not supporting, they're not working for a live environment. But as you, as a database administrator, so when there is a shift given for you 9 to 6 p.m., you need to available. Whether you have a work or whether you have some work or not, doesn't matter. You need to be available. You don't know when you will get an issue, right? You don't know when you will get an issue. That is the role of production database administrator. But when you get an issue, you don't have an option to tell excuses. I'm outside, I'm playing badminton, so I came to shopping mall, I came for bringing milk packets. There is no, you can't give such excuses because all your issues will be directly related to the production system. Okay, so you should be available in your shift time, right? And you just need to be available. That doesn't mean you'll have a 9 hours dedicated work. At any point of time, you may get an incident, you should be available to support that incident. Okay, that is the criticality of database administrator or any production backend administrator, right? So now we know what is information, what is data, and we have seen some examples of data. So to store this data, right? To store this data, we need certain media, right? So the media that we use to store our data is nothing but database. So next one is the database. Okay, storage media which we use to store the data is called database. Called database, right? So it can be anything. So I have 25 people here, right? I can take a small Excel spreadsheet. I can maintain all your data in this Excel spreadsheet. Name, email ID, right? Phone number, right? Experience, right? Location, etc. Right? So if I take example like Kadir, some at gmail.com, right? Experience 4 years, location Hyderabad, right? Similarly, next Surya. So don't tell me that is not your mail ID. Okay. Like this, I can maintain all this data in a Excel spreadsheet, right? So this I can say this Excel spreadsheet is my database, right? Because wherever I'm maintaining all my data, that can be my database. So your phone book, like in your mobile, your contact list is database. You are collecting all your friends, relatives, professional and personal contact details, and you are maintaining in your phone contact book, right? That is your database, right? And if I maintain this data in a normal text file or notepad, that is my database, right? Notepad or notepad plus plus, right? This is my database. So any media, right? Any media, like if you store this data into your, I'm storing all the class recordings, right? Every day, I'll be uploading my class recordings to this drive, right? So I have a Google Drive, right? For every batch, I'll create one folder here. So right now, let's see. These are the various batches like November 2018, 2019, January 21 is the latest batch. Like, so here see all the documents, all the PDFs, class images, and also videos, recordings, right? So I have close to 40 recordings here, right? 40, this is my recordings database, for January 21. Similarly, what I'll do, I'll create one for this batch. So I'll say create, where is this create folder? No, it has selected particular folder. Let me go here. New folder. So equal April 21. This is your batch, right? Every day after this session is completed, I'll download this recording from Zoom and I'll upload recordings to this folder, right? So once you are done with the payment, you will get access to this folder. Okay, that is a prerequisite. Okay, whoever is done with the payment, they can ping me the mail ID in chat in my WhatsApp. I'll add that mail ID to this group, right? So yeah. So that is the database. So similarly, we can create, okay, that is the database now, okay. And to manage this database, right, to manage this database, to manage the data in database, when I say manage, when you have a database, you should have a functionality which should allow you to add the data and which should allow you to update the data and which should allow you to delete the data, right? So these are the data retrieval and the data manipulations. Data retrieval means you should be able to see, or you should be able to view the data in a database. And manipulations means there can be a chance that we need to delete some data. There can be a situation where we need to update the data, right? There can be a situation where we need to insert the data, add the data. So I have an organization where I have a new employee joining into my organization where I need to add that employee information into my database. That is inserting. I have a department of accounts or finance or any other department. So there is a salary appraisal process for all the account department. I need to increase the salary by 20%. So I need to update my database with a new salary. And delete, there is employee exit, right? An employee decided to quit this organization, then I need to remove that employee information from my database. All these are data manipulations. And at any point of time, you should be able to view the data in your database, right? Select, right? Right? So you want to pull the data, all the employees whose salary is greater than 5 lakhs, right? Or all the employees whose salary is below 2 lakhs. Like that, we can put conditions and we can retrieve the data from database. To perform these operations, you need a software. Okay. To perform the soft operations, we need a software that is called DBMS, Database Management System. So database management system. So database DBMS is a database management system. We have got various types of DBMS, right? The first one is HDBMS. Second one is NDBMS. Third one is RDBMS, right? The first one is hierarchical database management system. Okay. The next one is network database management system. Finally, the powerful relational database management system. So relational database management system. So hierarchical, right? And a network and a relational, right? Hierarchical database management system, network database management system, and relational database management system. Okay. These two are like hierarchical database management system and network database management system. These two are kind of a failure products. So these are not products actually. HDBMS or NDBMS, RDBMS are not products. Those are what we say, like those are the concepts. Like HDBMS is one concept, NDBMS is another concept, RDBMS is another concept. When you say HDBMS, they have defined a product which follows certain rules. HDBMS means rule 1, rule 2, rule 3. Whatever the product follows these 3 rules, we call that as a HDBMS product. Similarly, from NDBMS, there are certain products, right? So whatever the product follows the NDBMS rules, so that is called NDBMS product. We don't need to talk much about this HDBMS and NDBMS because those are failure products. And now nobody is using these concepts, right? The most powerful powerful database management system, which is basically ruling this database era from last 3 to 4 decades. So this RDBMS concept is ruling this database era from last 30 to 40 years. This RDBMS concept came into the market about 30 years ago, at least 20-30 years ago. And from there is no competition and there is no alternative for this relational database management system until the latest times. Okay. Now there are some other things like there is something called NoSQL concept came into the market. Okay. So that is not our subject, but there is a new concept came into the market, that is NoSQL. But relational management system is most powerful database management system ruling this database era, right? It simplifies like to take why this NDBMS and HDBMS got failed, because there are so many limitations. When you take HDBMS, it follows the hierarchical fashion, right? If I want to say, there will be a kind of the director, associate director, and then senior manager, and then the tech lead, and then the associates. That is the hierarchy. So if the director wants to interact directly with the bottom level associate, it should not. It won't allow. Yeah, I have a table at the top level, and there is a table at 4 layers down. And if I want to enable the data accessibility between these two tables, that it has to go through the hierarchical fashion. It is very difficult to retrieve the data in a hierarchical database management system. To fix that problem, they have introduced network database management system. Here, from anywhere, anyone can talk to each other. But the problem is to retrieve a simple record from the database, you need to write 1,000 lines of code. When the code is more, it will put more burden on the database management system. So it will have a performance problems. So this RDBMS has put a solution for both of these issues. To retrieve the data, you don't need to write 1,000 lines of code, right? And it doesn't have to follow this hierarchical fashion. With simple 2 lines of code, you can retrieve the data from 2 different tables at different hierarchical levels. Okay, that is the beauty of RDBMS. So that's the reason from the RDBMS concept, there are so many products in the market. So one of RDBMS product is SQL Server. That is our product, the product which we are learning, MS SQL Server. or Microsoft SQL Server, right? SQL Server, SQL Server. The second one is, what are the RDBMS? You know, anybody know different RDBMS products?
Oracle,
Yes, Oracle is RDBMS, right? Anything else?
Sybase,
Sybase also, yes. Sybase. Right? MySQL, PostgreSQL, right? DB2. Yeah, MySQL, MariaDB, Greenplum. So these are the Aurora. So various like we have various RDBMS products available in the market. So SQL Server is from Microsoft. And Oracle is from Oracle Corporation. Sybase. Sybase is originally a Sybase product. Now Sybase is acquired by SAP. So now it is SAP product. MySQL, it is again Oracle, but open source. Postgres, there is something called EDB. There is no company for this. A group of people maintaining this product. DB2,
IBM,
IBM, right? This is also open source. This is also open. Greenplum itself a company, open source. And Aurora, Amazon Aurora, right? So these are the varied product available. So Microsoft SQL Server is not a free, right? It's a licensed. If you want to use the SQL Server, you need to buy a license from Microsoft. And similarly, Oracle also licensed. Same, Sybase also licensed. MySQL is open source. You don't need any license. Even Postgres also open source. And IBM is again paid licensed. And MariaDB is open source, and Aurora is again licensed. So these are the very. So what does that mean? Open source. Open source is you can just go to internet and download and use it. You don't need to buy a product license. You don't need to buy product license. Okay. You don't need to pay anything to that particular vendor to use that product, right? But when you say license, if you take Microsoft SQL Server, or Oracle, IBM DB2, Sybase, right? You need to follow the licensing guidelines. So they will give you the evaluation version for free of cost, but it will have a 3 months or 6 months validity. Post that, you need to buy a license from that particular vendor. So if you want to use SQL Server for your production systems, you need to buy a license from Microsoft, right? Similarly, if you want to use Oracle as your backend software, you need to buy a license from Microsoft, sorry, Oracle. Similarly, SAP for Sybase and IBM DB2, right? So these are the various RDBMS products available in the market. And the NoSQL is not only SQL, but I'll tell for your information purpose. We have MongoDB, Cassandra, Hadoop, Big Data. So uses this, okay. Your Facebook, right? Facebook uses Cassandra database. Okay, so most of the social media, Facebook, what is this, Twitter, right? And all this uses this NoSQL databases, Cassandra, Hadoop, Big Data, MongoDB. Okay, so this concept is altogether different compared to your RDBMS, right? Everything is different. But if somebody asks if you know any NoSQL products, NoSQL means not only SQL. Yes, the abbreviation is not only SQL. Apart from this NoSQL products, you take any other database products like DB2, Postgres, Maria, Greenplum, SQL Server, Oracle. All this uses SQL language to retrieve and manipulate the data. But when you go for NoSQL, here we don't use SQL language. Right? Here we don't use SQL language. That's the reason they name it as a NoSQL concept. NoSQL concept. Now, so we have seen what is information, what is data, what is database, what is DBMS, different types of DBMS, and relational database management system. So what are the different relational database management products available in the market? Okay. So now let's focus on SQL Server or history of SQL Server, right? History of SQL Server. So we're talking about SQL Server, right? And in fact, we're talking about Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL Server, or Microsoft. Don't get confused with MySQL and MS SQL. MS SQL is our product. MySQL is not our product. MySQL is different. So long back, one of our students went to IBM interview, right? So somebody asked in the interview, what is the difference between MySQL and MS SQL? Very simple and straightforward answer is both are same. Okay. So then he said, thank you, bye-bye. Okay. So MySQL is different, MS SQL is different. Microsoft SQL Server is our product. MySQL is open source software from Oracle. Okay. Now we are talking about SQL Server. History of SQL Server. So that the SQL Server is originally developed by Microsoft, right? SQL Server is not Microsoft's own baby. SQL Server is not Microsoft's own baby. It is kind of adopted baby. So SQL Server was originally developed by Sybase Corporation. Okay, SQL Server was originally developed by Sybase Corporation. So if any organization or any individual, if they have developed any software product and if they want to promote this product into the market, they want to do the business with that product, they need to get a approval from ANSI, American National Standard Institute, right? ANSI, right? ANSI, somehow Sybase failed in getting required authorization from ANSI. Okay, so ANSI did not authorize product. So then the Sybase approached Microsoft. By the time Sybase approaches Microsoft, Microsoft was ruling this operating system era. They are having like they are in kind of ruling this operating system business. They are into Windows XP, Windows 2000, Windows NT, right? Right. So they have the very good business with the operating system, and this is the database is something new area for them, right? So if everything goes fine, then well and good, right? If something goes wrong, if they take this SQL Server, and if this product gets failed in the market, it will have an impact in their existing business. It will have impact for their existing business. So Microsoft got into the dilemma, and finally, like they have decided to move on with. By the time this Sybase developed this SQL Server, Oracle and IBM was ruling this a database world, right? Oracle have their Oracle software, and IBM have DB2. So tough competitors, right? So somehow the Microsoft decided to move on, like they have partnered and they have promoted this product together. and they have given this to some top marketing agency to promote this product. They can do anything. They have promoted this product successfully, and this became grand success. Okay, that's how for few versions, right? Starting 1. Any product starts with 1.0. Okay, like that 2.0, 3.0. So both Microsoft and the SQL Server collaboratively developed this product for a few versions, right? Then Microsoft um, came out and they named it as a Microsoft SQL Server, and they made this product compatible only with the Windows operating system. So initially, the product which IBS developed is basically compatible with any operating system, Windows, Linux, Sun, SolarX, Linux, anything, right? But once it gets the Microsoft hands, what they have done, they made this product only compatible with Windows operating system. The reason is the Windows is Microsoft's operating system, and if they made SQL Server is compatible only with the Windows operating system, whoever wants SQL Server as a database background, database software, they don't have a choice. They need to purchase Windows operating system also. And whoever is purchasing Windows operating system as their platform, and if they have a database requirement, with no doubt they'll come to Microsoft for SQL Server. So to gain business from the both the directions, they have made this product only compatible with only Windows operating system, and it became grand success, right? So over the years, like up to 2019 or 2016, right, they made this product compatible only with the Windows operating system. Now the Linux has become most powerful operating system. Now they made latest versions of SQL Server compatible with the Linux operating system also. The latest version of SQL Server is 2019. So starting 2016, they made SQL Server is compatible with the Linux operating system. You can install SQL Server in Windows operating system, and you can install SQL Server in Linux operating system also. Okay, so the versions, that is the brief history. That's how we got SQL Server into Microsoft hand. So we have SQL Server 1.0, right? 2.0, 3.0. Okay, 3.0, 4.0. All these are kind of 5.0, 6.0. All these are Microsoft come Sybase operating system. Sorry, the Microsoft come Sybase SQL Server 6.5, and then we got 7.0, right? Then from after 7.0, the versioning has changed. From 6.5, it is a Microsoft SQL Server. From 6.5 onwards, it is a Microsoft SQL Server, right? MS SQL Server. After 7.0, even they have changed the versioning format also. Instead of 8.0, they made it align with their operating systems. Like if you see Microsoft operating systems, it will be Microsoft Windows Server 2000, 2008, 2003, like that, right? Windows 2000, 2000. These are the Microsoft SQL Server versions. 2008, 8.2, 2012, right? 2014, 2016, 2017. The latest is 2019. These are the different versions of SQL Server available. I think, yeah, all these are outdated. We can say you don't need to worry about the old versions. These are outdated. The Microsoft has stopped support for these products, and you should not use this product for production support. Okay, I'll talk about those production product life cycles, right? And so these are the latest versions. The most of the people are using 2016 and 2017, and few people have migrated their databases to 2019. So when you get into the organization, you will see majority of the databases running on 2016 and 2017. Okay, right? That's all for today. As few more people had to join, so this is just to give some introduction. Tomorrow we'll continue on these versions. There are some patches that we need to talk, and also additions and few other things. What is the difference between version to version? Where do you find these downloads? From where we can download? What is the edition? What is the difference between edition and version, right? And patches, different types of patches, all those things we'll cover tomorrow. So, right? Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, Wednesday. Okay. Tomorrow is being a festival. We will not have a session tomorrow, and we'll have next session on Wednesday. Fine, guys? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So try to close the payment by Wednesday, right? We'll post my Google Pay and Phone Pay numbers in the group. So whoever wish to continue, they can clear the fees by Wednesday. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.